All right, let me wait for some people to get up in here. No makeup today. It's luteal phase queen. Luteal phase queen. So, no makeup. Trying to give my face a break. And then I gotta wash my hair. My hair is disgusting. But speaking of hair, I have a product that I am gonna review. Wavy Talk sent me their little brush thing. It's Air Sculpt 5-in-1 hot air brush set. They sent it to me. So when I wash my hair, either today or tomorrow, and I blow dry it, I'm going to review it and let y'all know what I think about it and see how it works on my hair. Okay, I feel like we have enough people in here, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Okay. So, I just want to take more of a break of talking about men, okay? I don't have men in my life, so as you can imagine, talking about men could be exhausting. All right. Like, I don't want to. The only time I talk about men is when I make content for you guys. The only time I think about men is when I make content for you guys. So, obviously, as you can imagine, that gets old very, very fast, constantly talking about them because, yeah. So, I don't always want to talk about them. So, in probably the coming weeks, I really do want to kind of like talk more about leveling up, confidence, and I would love if you could give me like suggestions on what you all want me to talk about outside of men because I'm indifferent. Like, I'm at the point where I'm indifferent. I kind of feel like you have really reached the pinnacle of your decentering men journey when you're just indifferent to men. Like, you don't love them, you don't hate them, you know how they are, you accept how they are, and you just keep it moving and you just focus on yourself and you just mind your fucking business, right? So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And I feel like once you're at that point in your journey, it's just like you want to start focusing on other things. And I know that there are a lot of women that are focusing on other things. And I'm so glad that you brought up going through a mother wound because I'm going through a mother wound. That's another reason why my content is going to be expanding more because I want to talk more about familial things and how familial things do impact you and how it does show up in your life and how it can make your life more difficult. I cried a lot yesterday. I did. I cried a lot yesterday because I just was like thinking I was thinking about what the live stream was going to be today, and celibacy was one of them. Because if you don't know, I'm celibate. So I've been celibate since March of last year. This is my second time being celibate. I'm never breaking it again. I was celibate for about 15 months. I was celibate for like all of 2023 and then like half of 2024. And then I broke it and it was terrible. Okay. It was terrible. So these are all good things that I'm definitely going to talk about. And yeah, like manifestation and stuff like that. Okay. So today I want to talk about this is like a mindset shift type of live stream. So essentially, I just want to speak goodness into you. I just want to speak love into you. I want to speak confidence into you. I want to speak self-esteem, self-concept into you. And I want you to walk away from this live stream walking away with some audacity, right? Walking away with some confidence, walking away feeling like, you want to know what? I'm going to get everything it is that I want, and I deserve everything it is that I want, and I am valuable enough who I am right now, currently at this point in time, and God damn it, I'm going to get everything it is that I'm asking for, okay? So, one big thing is like a gap with audacity, right? It's been indoctrinated into women that you should just be grateful you should just be grateful that you got something, right? You should just be grateful that you even got a chance. And especially as a Black woman, you know, a large majority of my audience is a Black woman. And so I know that there are a lot of Black women, women of color that also understand this, you know. People really do like to try to groom you into thinking like you should just be happy that you got the opportunity. You should be happy that like somebody even noticed you. And so what happens is that it makes it really hard for you to want to have any audacity and for you to want to say like, I don't need to be grateful that I got an opportunity because, like, I want to be able to do the thing. Like, I want to be able to actually accomplish what it is that I'm accomplishing. And so, what happens is that you set the bar low for yourself because I feel like it's a way to avoid rejection by just making yourself be happy with breadcrumbs. And so, then you don't want to strive any higher than the breadcrumbs because you just been conditioned and you just been told, like, that's good enough. Right? That's good enough. Can you talk about sharpening your discernment to better avoid or deal with toxic folks? Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, when it comes to audacity, I really think it's important that you have like an alter ego. So like I have an alter ego for when I need to like get some audacity, okay? Because the audacity isn't within me. It has to be within a person. So your alter ego might be a white man. Like your alter ego could very well be a ugly, overweight white man who is unemployed and he's like, I want a wife, I want $1 million, I want someone that's going to cook for me and clean for me and sleep with me because I'm the prize. Like if that has to be your alter ego, then that has to be your alter ego. But I think it's really important that you have something outside of you that you can channel into when you already know that that thing is attached to having audacity, because sometimes it can be hard when you don't, if you're having a hard time with your self-esteem and your confidence and yourself in your self-concept, it could be easy for you to want to go internal and be like, I'm worth it, I have the audacity. It's just easier to create an alter ego and have them have the audacity for you, have them have the confidence for you, and then before you know it, you're going to start integrating that into who you are as a person. And after so long, you won't even be able to tell the difference. Like, you won't even need to have a pep talk of, like, okay, I'm channeling my inner Alan. Like, I'm going to ask for more money this month, or I'm going to ask to work from home instead of going into the office, or I'm going to ask for more PTO, or, you know, ask for someone to get the fuck out of my way, you know, anything. So, another thing that I like to do too is that people that don't have audacity are mediocre. Um, because the thing about it is that you actually don't need to be a great person to have audacity, and we see that. You don't have to be this amazing person to have the audacity. You can very well be mediocre and like and still have audacity. Audacity is not it's really not prejudice. Like anybody could ask. Like today, I practiced my audacity, and you could do it in small ways. Like you don't have to do it anything in a big way. Okay, so today I was shopping at Costco, right? And I got there early. And so because I got there so early, they had people that were stocking still. So I go into the aisle of what it is that I need, but one of the things that I needed was on its way to get stocked. And so when I saw that he had the vegetables that I wanted, I said, hey, can you pass me one of those? But there were two people that also wanted it. So the women were nice, and so he took the very first one out and they just passed it down to me because I was a third person. Okay, the center of the aisle is all blocked up because everyone is trying to stock. So like I can't cut through. I can only go in the line of path ahead of me. So there was a woman that was coming toward my direction, and she was making eye contact with me, and it wasn't like I could go anywhere. And like, I'm not going to go backward. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to go backward. I got to wiggle in up and down these aisles just like you do. So I could tell she was waiting for me to want to go backward. And I didn't, I ignored the signal that she was trying to give. I just kept going forward. So then she had to be the one to go backward and start walking backward to exit out of the aisle. So that's like a really easy way for you to practice having audacity. And then I did it again at the grocery store. This time it didn't work. So it's so funny because pretty much every time at the grocery store, because I go so early, whatever it is that I want is always being stocked. So one time I wanted spring mix, and this was a few weeks ago, and my spring mix was being stocked. And so the stocker was right in front of it, and I said, "Hey, can you grab me a spring mix?" He grabbed me a spring mix. And so today there was a different guy that was stocking the spring mix, and I was like, "Hey, can you grab me 2 spring mixes?" And he moved the fuck out of the way. He didn't grab it for me. And so I just grabbed it myself, you know? Make people service you, like make people do things for you. And these are very easy, small scale things, like small scale ways that you can make people do things and make them do things that you want to do. And like, it's not really going to cause any harm, and it's not going to make you feel crazy uncomfortable, just in case you get rejected, right? Just in case you don't get the result that you want. Like, okay, oh well, like the stalker made me get my own spring mix. It's not the end of the world. But now I know that, like, I can make people get out of my way. I can be assertive enough to ask for what it is that I want, and people are going to retrieve it for me. People are going to give it to me. So now I have confidence when it comes to me having audacity for me to ask for what it is that I want, or for me to say that what I do have is not to the satisfaction level that I would want, and I want it to be done over, or I want some type of compensation, et cetera, right? So, um, a lot of it too is like not having a fear of being arrogant. I think a lot of people have this fear of saying, like, well, I'm afraid to ask for what it is that I want because, like, I don't want to bother someone. I don't want to come off stuck up. I don't want to come off as arrogant. Listen, there is no way that you can simultaneously ask for what you want and not come off arrogant. You really have to pick a struggle. Would you rather be humble and receive nothing that you want, or would you rather look stuck up and arrogant and receive everything it is that you're looking for? It really is that simple. You have to pick a struggle. You have to pick what it is that you want, and I feel like that should always be valued more than what people's perception of you is going to be. I've been talking about it on the Patreon, but perception, a lot of people are afraid to ask for more. A lot of people are afraid to make decisions because you're afraid of the perception of other people. Like, maybe you want to live out the country. Maybe you want to go to a different country. A lot of people would perceive that as being reckless. People will perceive that as being risk taking. And so naturally, what a lot of people will do, they'll sit here and they'll say, well, it's not safe, and you don't know anyone in that country, and you don't know the language of that country, and yada yada yada. What if you get robbed? What if you get mugged, et cetera, et cetera? They're going to constantly want to project their fears onto you because you're living in two different realities. So another thing that I think is really important is that when you are having this mindset shift, I think it's very, very important for you to stay quiet, especially amongst like your families and your friends and things like that. I think you should really stay quiet and just let your presence do the work for you. I really wouldn't be talking to anyone saying like, yeah, I'm trying to change my mindset, and I'm going to ask for what it is that I'm trying to receive. Like, just let your aura and just let that be a part of like who you are, and naturally it's going to repel a lot of people. Naturally it's going to make people feel uncomfortable, and guess what? All that means is that the people that are currently in your life, you've just outgrown you've just outgrown them. That could be your family, that could be your friends. Like, as someone that has a mother wound, I know good and well that like my mother wound is what holds me back in life. Like, honestly, really with both of my parents, but internally, one of the things that holds me back personally is just how like the perception in regards to my family, and like how they will view me in certain type of ways. Because like, yeah, I give advice, but I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a human just like everybody else. And so I have to like check myself and take times and moments to actually sit down and reflect on how I let these things impact me, right? Another thing too, um, another thing that I think a lot of women like have, like, we get gaslit about is you have to be fully healed in order for you to receive what it is that you're getting. You have to be fully evolved. You have to complete this level before you can get what it is that you want. That couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. Okay. That couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. Like, you don't need to be a certain weight. You don't need to look a certain way. There's no certain amount of money in your bank account that you need to decide that you're going to want better for yourself and you're going to want to make an improvement in your life. And not only that, that you are like you actually are worthy of like accepting it. I think that that's another thing that's been conditioned into women where it's just like, oh, you're not a 10. So, like, you don't deserve someone that's going to spend money on you. You know, you're not thin. So, you don't deserve someone to be nice to you. It's always this thing of like, in order for you to get something, in order for you to get what you want, you have to prove that you have value. You have to prove that you're worthy of whatever it is that you want. And it can really, really impact you. And it can really make it easy for you to be fearful of going after the things that you want to do, even if you don't feel ready. Like, honestly, okay, so anyone that knows me or been on the channel for like a while, my weight has always just been a thing with me, okay? It's always been a thing with me. It's always been something that I struggled with. Food is an ongoing has always been an ongoing thing for me. And so if you're new here or if you don't know, like, I do pole fitness. I hate calling it pole fitness, but it's pole dancing classes. I have a background from working in the club as a stripper a while ago, like 8 or 9 years ago. It's quite a while ago, and I reintroduced myself back into pole fitness maybe about like 9 months ago. And honestly, my body is what's holding me back from wanting to like post consistently on social media. And I constantly have to like work on what it is that I'm telling myself to be like, your body doesn't have to be perfect for you to be able to like post stuff. Like, your body does not have to be this like picturesque version that you have in your brain for you to be able to do pole dancing, because like it's more so about what my body can do and not what my body looks like. You know what I mean? And like, I'm strong. I could do some really cool shit, you know what I mean, on the floor and on the pole. And so even I personally have to like constantly train myself and train my brain to affirm that I'm worthy. Like, my value as a person is enough for me to at least want to try, for me to at least want to do the thing. And so I think that that's really important. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to be quote unquote perfect to like do whatever it is that you're wanting to do. And that's another thing too I want to do on the channel. Since I don't date, there's really no transparency. Like, there's no transparency of that I can have in regards to men, because I really don't have like any traumatic stories in regards to men. I mean, for the most part. And then not only that, I'm not dealing with any men. This type of thing, like the whole mindset live streams that like I want to do in the future, it gives like more vulnerability. That way you all don't feel alone, and that way you all don't feel as though I'm just this like infallible person. You know what I mean? Like, no, I have the same exact thoughts. I have the same exact issues where like I might be depressed, or I may have anxiety. I might have fear or shame or guilt. I'm not this infallible person. I'm a human just like you, okay, with real raw emotions and feelings and daily dealings just like anybody else out there. So that's another reason I just want to give you all like more rawness and more vulnerability. Thank you all for the kind words. You said, hold on, I want to read. I honestly wish sometimes that my dad left us. He was one of those dads that was there, but he wasn't there. He is also a huge misogynist, and this affected my mother, sister, and I. It affected our confidence, me and my sister in particular, because my dad never defended us from men who hurt us. Wow, I'm sorry. That's horrible. He wasn't the type of dad who gave our boyfriends the my daughter speech. Learning how to develop self-esteem and audacity has been so fucking hard, but I'm trying. Your content and lives help a huge lot. Well, I'm so glad that excuse me, I'm so glad that my content is helping you. I love that. I really, really do love that. Because another thing too is that a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about, it's reparenting. You know, I made a video about it on TikTok earlier, and like there were people that got pissed off about it that I made the video. But a lot of what a lot of people don't want to admit is that the system of parenting and the system of having adults procreate, the system runs on abuse. The system runs on abuse. Like, I'm just keeping it like, I'm just giving it to you straight. If it's not physical abuse, it's mental abuse, it's emotional abuse, it's financial abuse. Your parents, in most cases, were the very first people to abuse you. This is the reason why when you get into relationships or you get into friendships, you don't know that you're getting abused when you are dealing when you're having these dealings, because it's been normal to you. It's been normal to you. So if you grew up in an environment where someone was screaming at you and yelling at you and like calling you outside of your name and stuff like that, you're not gonna understand the difference of you having a partner who is doing the same thing, because it's just normal. And so this is like another reason why I'm child free. Parenting is abusive, and they have it like that on purpose. Okay, they have it like that on purpose because I'm sorry, like, you have overstimulated individuals that have to who have to work a job. They have to do a ton of chores. They have to show up for people, and then you add on them being responsible to keep a human alive. And like, if they don't keep a human alive, like they could go to jail. And that's another thing too. The reason why like the system is pretty much built off the back of abuse is because there's going to be repercussions if you don't do it. So they're really only doing it because they understand that there's repercussions if they don't keep this person alive. I hate it. I hate to say that, but honestly, it's really just the raw, honest truth. I really do genuinely feel like if there was no morality behind keeping a child alive, um, a lot of parents just wouldn't give a fuck. I mean, I'm just being so honest, especially the parents that already do the absolute bare minimum, because you know it's abusive because when parents throw it in your face that they kept you alive, that's how you know it's a form of abuse. It's literally no different than being in an abusive relationship with like your boyfriend or with your husband, and he will say, I did all of this for you. And it's like, okay, all you did was literally just help keep me alive. Like, you just gave me sustenance, or you gave us like a place to live. And they will sit here and they will throw it in your face and say like, I can talk to you any old kind of way because I'm making sure that you have a roof over your head. I'm making sure that you have safety in this house and you have food. That's abusive, you know what I mean? So a lot of parents like to do this, and it's like, but no one asked. Like, your child didn't ask to be here. You chose to bring your child into this, and then you want to make it seem as if because you had to struggle to keep something alive, that way you didn't go to jail, they should be grateful. And it's like, that's not how the world works. Honestly, that's just not how the world works. So that's like another thing where it gets carried over into like how you view yourself and how you talk to yourself, and things like that. Like your family, in my opinion, I think because men are so terrible, we give men a lot of credit. We give men a lot of credit for like the trauma that they cause in our lives. And I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like parents parents can't hold a candle to the trauma that men will cause. And the reason being is because with a man, like, you can break up with him. You know what I mean? You could break up with him and you have that small window, depending on how long you were with the person. But you have that small window and it's been in your adulthood. Whereas if your parents, you had your parents and you've had them at the earliest time when you were a sponge, when you were very impressionable, when it was really easy for you to be influenced. And so that has more of an impact on you because it started so young where you didn't really know what was doing in that. And then not only that, you can't do anything about it because you need to stay alive. So if you know that you're noticing something bad and then you speak up on it, your survival is literally impacted based off of you saying something or not. This is the reason why when things like SA happen in the family, they get mad at the victim. They get mad at the person that's speaking out because that's how they're able to keep up the cycle of abuse. Because they want to shame the victim into not wanting to come forward because they want to be able to keep that going. They want to be able to have the abuse because they're able to control people. When you have no abuse, you can't control anybody. And so that's the reason why they're constantly making victims feel bad and they're constantly shunning victims for wanting to come forward when someone has done something to them. And so this shows up in all different ways, like in your friendship, in the workplace, with your family, in your relationships. And so it can make it really hard for you to ask for what it is that you want. And it can make it really hard for you to want to advocate for yourself because you've been taught at a very young age that if you advocate for yourself, you're going to get rejected. If you advocate for yourself, you're going to get humiliated. You're going to get embarrassed. You're going to look stupid if you try to advocate for yourself. And they do that on purpose because a lot of the thing too, they want you to run back to them. So like they want to do it where it's like, oh, well, we'll be the one to humiliate and shun you. And then we're training you to deal with humiliation. And then once another person humiliates you, then you'll want to come back over here because I'm your parent or I'm your boyfriend or I'm your friend. So like if you have parents, in my opinion, if you have parents that kind of just let you they see you do wrong and they just let you go on ahead and do wrong and they know that you're fucking up your life and they don't do anything to step in and correct you. The reason being is because they want to have control over you, because they want life to chew you up and then spit you out, and then you'll have to run back to them and then they can have control over you in that situation. So a lot of the time, parents that really don't want to look out for you, that's the reason why, if they're not like trying to put you on game to anything and they have the information, they know what's going on. Yeah, a lot of the time they just want to feed you to the wolves because they don't want you to be independent. They don't want you to be independent because for a lot of these parents, the only thing that they have in their life to show for is just you, just the child that they created. And a lot of them have their identity become questioned when they realize that, when they see that you're going to get life lessons, that's going to make it harder for you to want to rely on them. And it's 1000% sabotage, 1000% sabotage. So this is the reason why you have to reparent yourself and you have to take your power back yourself. You have to completely rewire your brain. And then the next thing too, I also believe that it's very easy for people to feel uncomfortable when you state a desire that you have. So like if you desire to be a business owner, if you desire to be a millionaire, if you desire to go travel the world, a lot of people will feel uncomfortable with your desires, especially when it impacts your relationship with them in some way. So if you come from a family that's really codependent, they really won't take too well if you say like, oh yeah, I want to live out the country, I want to go backpacking, because it's a threat to the dynamic that you have. have. And so they will go out of their way to like sabotage you. They will try to put fear in you because they want to keep the codependent dynamic because they don't have their own identity. And so what you're doing is you're shaking up their sense of self by deciding like, well, I'm not codependent. Like I'm okay if I'm here and you're there and we just like FaceTime or call each other. It don't make a difference to me. But meanwhile, they're spiraling. And so what also happens is that you will want to hold yourself back and you will not want to go after your desires simply because you don't want to impact the other person, right? You are like, no, it's going to hurt them too much or make them upset and stuff like that. So, and the thing about it is that anything that you desire, the reason why you desire it is because you're aligned with that thing. Nothing that you currently desire is out of alignment. That's the reason why you desire it. Like, I want to make that very, very clear. Everything that you're currently desiring, you're desiring it because you're in alignment with that thing. A person that wants to just stay in their hometown and they don't ever want to leave their hometown, they don't want to go to another country, they don't want to live in another place. That's because they don't have a desire for that because that's where they're operating. That's where their frequency is. They just desire sitting in their hometown because that's where they're vibrating at. So you also have to take ownership of the desire that you have and understand that it's natural to have a desire for something. And you should feel confident in knowing that the reason why I want this thing is because I'm already living in the state. I'm already living in the mindset of having that thing already. I'm already ready for that thing because that's what I want to do. Okay, another thing. I'm a firm believer that you're never asking for too much. You're just simply asking the wrong people. If you got on the street today and I told you, I said, okay, I want you to go and just walk up to random people and I want you to ask them for $100 and you can't quit asking until you get the $100. Most of the people are most likely going to say no. Most of every person is going to say no, but you only need one person to give you $100 or you need four people to give you $25. It's just the people that you're asking. It's just based off of the receptivity of the person that wants to give you the money. It has nothing to do with you. That's a key thing too. You not getting what you want isn't a reflection of you. It's not a reflection of you. It's them. You can't force someone to give you something and all you did was ask, right? So if they don't want to give it, it's not because you're not worthy of receiving it. It's just the person didn't want to give it. It just wasn't a good person to ask. And it's really that simple. I feel like another thing, like, please, like, don't let rejection is inevitable. Rejection is inevitable. Please don't internalize people rejecting you or not giving you what it is that you want and you taking it as a sign of like something being wrong with you. It ain't nothing wrong with you. Yes, my parents only built me up to a certain point. Once they saw me becoming too good, especially my mother boycotted me from every side. Most parents don't want their kids to be better than them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Or they try to make it seem as if their way is better. Like, oh, that's the reason why I don't do XYZ because, my way is better, especially now with like social media. Especially now with social media, I think like it's really not an issue, but I do think that like that is the problem that like I do kind of have. And one thing that I had to learn too, I had to learn that even if your parents are like doing good, you don't need to have the same blueprint as your parents. Like my father is obviously my father. He's older than me. He started doing things back when like brick and mortar was, a big, big thing. He got all of his people in his businesses through word of mouth. He had to do everything the old school way because that was the only way that was available. Whereas me, I'm in the age of digital, you know what I mean? And I want to have the freedom to move wherever it is that I want to be. So like I care more about digital assets. I don't care about I don't care about the brick and mortar assets like real estate and things like that, and yada yada yada. So that's another thing too. um Take pride in whatever path it is that you want to be able to go on, and like don't feel like you need to do what your parents are doing or telling you to do, or feel like you need to do the same thing that they're doing, or mirror them in any way. You're your own person. You got to do what works for you, like point blank period. Honestly, my mother was so narcissistic and always had a say in what other women wear and hoe shaming. I cannot get along with her. I made peace with that. Yeah, exactly. And I think just knowing the distance that you got to have with your parents is important. Some people have to go full on no contact. You just are never going to talk to them again. Some people is just a check in every now and again. I do best with my family with distance. If I'm around my family too long, I just can't. I end up getting a lot of resentment toward them. I end up building a lot of contempt for them. I do best dealing with my family from a distance. I do not talk to my family every day. I really don't follow up on what their day-to-day dealings are. Like we might talk maybe once, or we may talk once every 2 months, if I'm being completely honest. Once a month, once every 2 months. You got to know what you can tolerate, and not even tolerate. You got to know how your parents are and what triggers you, and like get away before they trigger you. Really that simple. And I quit, and that's another thing too. I don't tell my family anything. Really, I don't tell my like I very rarely do I tell my family anything like personal, negative. And to be quite honest, the reason why I don't tell them anything is just simply because I had to, through childhood, I had to figure out how to emotionally regulate, you know what I mean? And of course, my parents, they'll just say the typical things, but it does nothing for me. Through therapy, I know how to emotionally regulate and solve my own problems. And so I don't feel like it's necessary for me to, you know, do all of that. I just figure it out on my own. So they don't know anything really going on with me on a deep level. It's just the regular stuff that they know. They would get mad if I found money on the floor, like so much hate. That's crazy. Isn't parental love supposed to be unconditional to a degree? Excuse me. Um Me personally, I don't believe that parental love is quote unquote supposed to be unconditional. In a perfect world, yeah. But our parents have egos. We live in a world where where a lot of people are narcissistic and a lot of people have egos. Most parents are narcissistic. So the love really can't be unconditional because their ego is at risk. So it has to be conditional because their ego has to get fed through certain conditions being met. So this is why like parents care a lot about if their child is gay or not. You know what I mean? There's parents that they take that real seriously. The reason why they care about, because if you really think about it, at surface level, their child being gay is not impacting them on any level. It's really not. It's impacting their ego, right? It's their ego that is currently being attacked, because now they realize they have to explain to other people, my son is gay or my daughter is gay. They have to explain to other people, if they're at a family event, why does she have a girl with her? Why does he have a boy with him for his date? It attacks their ego. And so if you don't fall within the conditions that make their ego feel safe, well, then they won't want to deal with you. Point blank, period. This is why I really do believe that a lot of people shouldn't be parents, because they're too ego driven. And all the decisions that they make is just in regards to their ego. It doesn't have any impact on their life aside from how other people look at them. You said I don't have deep conversations with any of my family. They're so fucking argumentative. It's crazy. Yes. Love your example of alignment. Beautiful. Thank you. Our parents are full blown adults when we're vulnerable. Power trip, leverage to abuse. Yeah. So that's another reason why I tend not to be vulnerable. And another thing too, if you have parents that don't know how to emotionally regulate, you're wasting your time anyway being vulnerable with them. They're not gonna most parents don't know how to emotionally regulate. This is why they would whoop you. This is why they will scream at you. This is why they'll get so angry because they didn't know how to emotionally regulate. I'm sorry, but parents that were, because like I had got whoopings growing up, and I know a lot of people will sit here and say, I got whooped growing up, and that didn't impact me in one way. That didn't impact me, and I'm fine, and I'm normal. And in my opinion, I don't believe that. I just believe that it's the memory of being whooped was so repressed that you think it's not bothering you. It's bothering you. Okay. Every single parent that's like, I got a whooping and it didn't impact me. They end up whooping their children, and then their children end up having the very same problems that they do. Like, it's abuse at the end of the day. The screaming, the yelling, like, it's all fucking abuse. I'm sorry. Like, none of that is healthy. It's due to the lack of emotional regulation, and your parents just don't know how to regulate their emotions. So as soon as you do something, they just take it out on you because they don't know how to freaking breathe and be like, okay, it's a child. It's a child that's in an environment that they're not used to, or it's a child getting into things and they don't want to sit down and they don't want to actually just take a moment to sit down and look at what's in front of them. The first thing that they're going to do is just whoop you. Like, I am still highly traumatized. I'm still very much highly traumatized from getting whoopings growing up. And the thing about it too, getting whoopings for shit that you didn't do. That's another thing too. No, people are like, I have so much anxiety. I have hypervigilance. Okay, if you grew up in an environment where you were getting in trouble for shit that you did not do, and you're getting yelled at, you're getting whooped, you're getting grounded for doing things that you did not do, of course you're going to be anxious. Of course you're going to have hypervigilance because now you can't even trust your own decisions. You can't even trust your own sanity because your childhood conditioned you to make you believe that no matter if I do right, no matter if I do wrong, I'm going to have a repercussion regardless. Like, exactly. Like, I never believe it when they say that. It's like, no, the whoopings definitely impacted you. The memory is just repressed. It's just too far deep down there. I feel like so many Black folks suffer from repression. Yeah, this is why they're like, you better depress those dishes. You better anxiety those dishes. Like, they don't believe that those things exist. They don't believe that those things exist because these people really didn't want to have children. They pretty much were just forced to have children just to fit into society. So it's like, like, no, they were just abusing people and harming their own children because they were too overstimulated to be having children. I hate when people say this whoopings are from slavery. Yes, like, oh my gosh, like, I just would literally I literally would feel like that too, getting whoopings growing up. Like, I literally would feel like I was a slave. It was so terrible. I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. And like none of that stuff changed your behavior. I feel like you just now know what to expect when they're whooping you. Like, oh my God. This is like another thing too. Like, the more that I look into like parental dynamics and I look at like childhood trauma and things like that, ugh, it just really turned me off from wanting to have children. It really, really turned me off from wanting to have children because even though I'm equipped with the information, and even though I know all of those things, they're still going to go out into the world and they're still going to have to deal with egotistical assholes. They're still going to deal with people that are going to abuse them in different ways. And it's just like, ugh, I can't. This is why when people say things like, oh, well, if your parents aborted you, you wouldn't be here. I wouldn't know the difference. And if I could have a crystal ball and I could see how it really was here, that probably would have been one of the greatest gifts a parent could give to me, is to not have me come up in this place. If I'm just keeping it complete, if I'm just keeping it completely real, that might have been a better gift, to just not have someone come here, because it's terrible. Once you really see the writings on the wall and you just see the indoctrination of just disrespect and abuse throughout your like childhood, and how parents are pretty much groomed to be abusive, and then you just get abused in different ways and through different relationships in your life, it's terrible. Because I think in everyone's brain, abuse is just like, everyone paints the biggest extreme for something like that they don't want to relive. So they paint it as just being this really, really horrible thing. It doesn't take anything to trauma. It doesn't take much to traumatize a person, especially a young child. Doesn't take anything. And like the whole idea of settling. So this is another thing too. They say like, okay, so you know how people, they give like the argument of like, oh, well, I rather have a boyfriend and then have nobody, have no one at all. I think that your family, sometimes they also have that settling mindset. Like, who are you gonna have if you don't deal with us? Who's gonna help you if you don't deal with us? In my opinion, that's the same as settling. Like, if you know that your family isn't good to you and you know that they're not good people, they're trying to groom you into that settling culture of like, well, if you don't keep us terrible, egotistical, disrespectful people around you, then who are you going to have? Like, what type of bargain is that? And we live in a society now where they've created so much tech and they've created so much outsourcing, where you live in a world now where you can be highly individualistic and you can pretty much have all of your needs met. So there is there's like literally no need for that to even be a thing. And I think that also can have an issue with like your mindset, with like your audacity, in you feeling like you can get the things that you want. If people around you are trying to convince you to settle and just keep them close to you just so that way they can have access to you, like, no, you deserve better. Even if better means just keeping your own company and just doing what you want to do. Like, you don't have to have an anchor attached to you and they're trying to gaslight you into thinking that there's some asset and there's some benefit, when in reality they're they're draining you. They're draining you of your energy. Like, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm sorry. Absolutely not. The standard is the standard. That's another thing to remember. The standard is the standard. If you have your standard where it's like, I'm not tolerating disrespect, I'm not tolerating flakiness, I'm not tolerating people trying to humble me, trying to give me backhanded compliments, trying to sabotage me, well, then that's the fucking standard. Like, either these people are going to meet the standard or they're not going to meet the standard. And if they don't, you just done with those people. You're just not going to have them in your life. Very no nonsense. And that's where I'm at in my life. I'm at the point where the standard is the standard. You either got it or you don't got it. I'm not making any concessions. I'm not doing any justifications as to why the person can't give me what it is that I need, or, you know what I mean? I'm not doing it. Well, I'm glad that you all are enjoying the community. And yeah, like, I love the vulnerability. Oh, you said divorce isn't always an option. That's especially true in the Delta Force communities. Those heroes unalive their wives for less than leaving them. I mean, that's true. I am currently in another state having to get an AB because my narc abandoned me and told me it was too much to ask for him to be there for support. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Wow, I'm sorry that you're going through that. I'm not okay, but queen, I swear you've been getting me through. You are a real one. That's a lot that you're going through. I'm so, so sorry. I'm really, really sorry. What I will say though is that at least this person told you before you couldn't do anything about it. That way, they gave you at least enough information to make an informed decision instead of waiting for you to actually give birth and then decide to abandon you. Abandonment is traumatic to begin with, but better to be abandoned before you bring a life into the world thinking that you're going to actually get help and assistance from this person, you know, but that's horrible. It sounds she's probably in a red state and she probably had to travel to a blue state. You said I don't wanna go with my fam to Nigeria because all they do is have babies and beg me for money. Yeah, don't. Don't. Yeah, that's really what it is, honestly. It's really just, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna live my life and do whatever it is that I wanna do and whatever it is that I see fit." My tolerance has just gotten too low. As I've gotten older, I just can't do things just so I can be perceived as a good person or as like this person that can show up for other people. I don't care anymore. I show up for what it is that I want to show up for, and I just keep it moving. I don't do things out of obligation because, one thing that I have noticed is that it's very rare that you do something out of obligation and it's reciprocated. Very, very rarely. I feel like the more decisions that you make out of feeling obligated to make them, the more resentment you're going to have. Because when you're constantly in a state you don't want to do in regards to other people, you secretly make a tally. You do. You secretly make a tally in the back of your head and you remember doing the things that you did not want to do. And so when the other person doesn't have that same energy, oh, you're like, "Uh-uh." You're like, "What? You're not doing XYZ for me, and I showed up for you." I don't have time for that. I'm not going to prove to another person why they should show up for me. I'm just not doing it. To me, that's the same as begging a man for a ring. It's the same exact thing in my opinion. I'm not begging a man for a ring, and I'm not begging for a person to show up for me. If you wanna show up for me, great. Yes, it's crazy, like, mm-mm, and I've just seen it too often and too many times where I'm like, "Uh-uh, I'm not doing the people pleasing anymore. I'm not." She said, "I'm not going tit for tat, just called me evil." Yeah. So if I don't wanna do something, I just don't do it. I don't if I don't like, there was someone and they were, like, talking about, like, some church, and they were like, "Yeah, like" I don't know, it's so annoying. It's honestly annoying. I don't meet people often. I'm not really open and warm and, like, receptive, and, like, the few people that I have met, like, they'll bring up church, and I'm like, "I'm not going to church. I'm not doing it. I will spend my time alone. I'm not going to church. Don't ever invite me there." Yes, I have very low tolerance because I'm great by myself. That's the truth. People admire me for that. Yeah, they can admire me from a distance. Socializing once every few months, years is enough. Exactly. And this is what kills me. Like honestly, I kind of think it's propaganda because they have that crazy statistic. I don't know if you all have heard it, but they said that you being lonely for a year, or loneliness is like smoking 3 packs of cigarettes or something like that. And in these articles, they're equating being alone to being lonely, and it's like, but that's not true. Because most of the time when I'm with other people, I'm ready to get the fuck on. Honestly, I'm ready to get the fuck on, so I can't relate. I can't. I feel like dealing with other people, I feel like my health is as if I'm smoking 3 packs of cigarettes. It's when I'm around people, I feel like my health is being impacted. Exactly. Dead ass, I hate traveling with my fam, it's so annoying. Yeah, I don't like, I they literally they literally won't hear from me. They literally won't. They send these invites for me to go to stuff, and, like, I just decided that I'm not going anymore. I decided I'm not going anymore. Yeah, men are lonely, women are not really, we need the peace, yes. But yeah, all the family stuff they've been inviting me to, I'm not going, and I'm not going out of my way to go. I literally would book flights, and I would rent a car, and I would do all of those things because in my brain, I just seen it as like some like morale, just so that like I could say that I had like my family. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I get to say these things, but I don't really, I'm like, it's cool hanging out with them, but I'm like, it's not, I don't need to do all of that. What do your parents, siblings think of you being child free? They honestly don't care. They don't. They genuinely don't care. As long as I'm happy, they're cool. So they don't really care. One thing I'll say about my parents are so focused on their own life, and they're so focused on things that they're doing. They don't care about what I got going on, if I could be completely honest. Like, I could go no contact with my parents tomorrow, and, like, of course, it would probably hurt their feelings, but they would get over it so fast. They would get over it so fast. They'd be like, "Okay, I can't force you." Like, there's been times where I told my mom, like, "Don't talk to me," and, like, she's like, "Okay," and she just won't talk to me. One thing I can say, my parents, they'll honor some fucking boundaries. If I tell them don't talk to me anymore, I'm dead to them. My mom won't even text me back sometimes. Neither will my dad. They're focused on their own stuff. They're like, "You do whatever it is you gotta do. Imma focus on what I got going on over here. My life gotta still keep going on." And, like, honestly, it's mutual. It's pretty much mutual between all of us. Like, we all got our own stuff going on. If even I told my dad when I was visiting, and he was like, I told him, I was like, yeah, it's like, I'm really not going to be visiting as much. Like, just don't expect to see me around. And y'all want to know what he said? He said, well, look around, nobody's dead. Like, nobody's dead just because, like, you're not going to be around. Like, he literally said that. He's like, as you can see, like, nobody's dying. So that was pretty much him saying, like, life is still going to go on. My mom's block hand is so strong. Girl, so is mine. My mom's hang up game is strong too. Like, Yeah, and that's another thing too. I had to learn like my mom's triggers because yeah, like if I trigger my mom, baby, I'm getting hung up on. Okay, she is not tolerating me. She is not working through any triggers at all whatsoever. Said my mom leaves me on red LMAO, like, girl, you're my emergency contact. Every time I start a place of employment and they ask me my emergency contact, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I should just put God and put a fake number and leave it to Jesus because I don't know if my mom or my dad are gonna pick up. It's gonna be 6 hours later and they're like, sorry, I'm returning this phone call. Like, they are so busy. Smiling all the time just feels so fake, exhausting, and gives me wrinkles. Seriously, I'm the kindest person, but my face must be looking seriously mean, getting so much hate for being quiet and aloof. When I did X-ray school, they used to put that on my clinical. One hospital put it on my clinical evaluation. I think two hospitals put it on my clinical evaluation. I had no idea what the word aloof meant. So we got our little evaluation, and we're with the clinical director, and they're going over the evaluation, and they were like, standoffish and aloof. Like I had a couple clinical places write that down for me, and I looked up aloof, and I was like, yeah, because I'm a student. Like I'm just here to just take the X-rays and just make sure that I pass all of my clinical stuff. I don't really want to be friends with anybody. I don't really wanna, like, get to know anyone or be in the drama or anything like that. Like, I'm a student, like, I'm just here to get educated and to learn and do what I gotta do to get my degree, and they said that I was aloof, and I am aloof. I am. I don't love my parents. I respect them for what they did and appreciate them, but love, seriously, after all the bullying and hate I got, hey, that's real. That's real. I love my parents, I really do, but I'm starting to realize that if I stay around them too long, like anywhere near them, that I'll never fully find myself. I'm still in my 20s, so I made it out well. I didn't even move out until I was like 27 or 28. I didn't, and it was the best thing I ever did. Honestly, moving out was the best thing I ever did. life life really started for me once I moved out. The social aspect of anything has always been annoying to me. I never went to any team building event. Like, I don't care. Yeah, it's just like the way that I look at it, to me, is just fake pleasantries. That's how I look at it. When they do the team bonding and they do the team meetings, it's just fake pleasantries. The amount of times that I've heard aloof, standoffish, or some other irrelevant judgment on a review, shaking my head. Can we focus on the work quality and not my socializing? Yeah, because a lot of people get mad at the fact that you just want to come to work and do your job, and I can't stand it. I absolutely can't stand it. Like I don't even like it when people ask me too many questions at work. I don't want people asking me questions about like my personal life and what I do outside of work and stuff like that, like me as a person. I don't like doing that because I want to keep my home life and my work life separate. How is knowing these things about me going to translate to what I'm doing with my job? It's not going to. I feel as though people get mad that you don't want to talk about those things is because they can't get information to use as leverage against you. That's honestly my opinion. I feel as though they're like, oh, we want you to be open and we want you to be, have friends and stuff like that. No, they just want to get in your business so they can use it as leverage to want to fire you at one point or suspend you at one point or talk shit about you and gossip about you. They don't want to be friends and be nice and be all in your business to benefit you in any way. They really don't. So I think that's the reason why they want to put that stuff on reviews. Like, okay, I'm aloof, and bitch, what? You said, yo, there's a reason I clicked on this today. My coworkers hate me. Those white women feel entitled to my energy and attention. And see, I at this place that I'm working at currently, I work with like a lot of Indians. It's like a lot of Indians and like Middle Easterns. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I got nothing against any race, but like they're just way too intrusive. Like they're way, way too intrusive. Like I had to put one of them in her place. I had to put one of the people in their place because she was like, you weren't at work this past weekend. You said, baby, I'm Indian. I'm hollering. So she asked me, she and this is what's funny. So there's definitely a hierarchy. There's definitely a hierarchy. So it's me and one other black woman that I work with, and I think that she's Nigerian. Okay. So the thing about it is that I feel like whenever I work with Indian women as a black woman, I feel like how Indian women feel when they work with white women because you're in a different sector of the hierarchy. So I feel like a lot of Indian women will look at the black women and like they kind of feel like they can like just tell us what to do and like get in our business or whatever. Because me and my other black coworker, we do share the same sentiments on this. And like one of them just got all up in my business. We had a winter storm and the battery died in my car. So my car couldn't start. So I ended up calling off for the weekend. I couldn't go to work. So I go to work and it's the same woman that's in the break room, the Indian woman that's in the break room. And so I go into the break room and she's over here like, you weren't here. And mind you, she's not even working in the same department. She's not my coworker. That's what's even crazy. She's not my coworker. We don't work in the same department. We just share the same area. Okay. And so she asked me, she's like, oh, so you weren't here this weekend? Dr. So-and-so was looking for you and no one could find you. And I said, the house supervisor was aware that I called off. The house supervisor was aware that I called off. And so then she like asked me again. She asked me again about with me not being at work. And I said, the house supervisor was aware that I called off because you're not my boss. You're not even my coworker. We don't even work in the same department. Like, what is going on with you? And she's like, oh, do you work Friday, Saturday, Sunday? And mind you, after she asked the second time in regards to me not showing up to work, I was being rude on purpose. So I literally had my cell phone. Like this. And as she was talking, I was ignoring her. Like I wasn't even giving her eye contact. I was deep in my phone. I was like, and she's like, oh, you working Friday, Saturday, Sunday? And I was like, mm-hmm. And then she shut up after that. Like, why do I have to be rude? Why do I have to be rude and ignore you and show you that I'm not giving you any attention for you to leave me the fuck alone? Like, none of this, we don't even work in the same department. Me not showing up at work was not impacting you in any way. Why would you ask me any of that? Oh my God. She does it often too. See, I'm usually the only Indian person anywhere. I am so sorry they're making you feel that way. I don't claim her. Girl, usually I have it. There's only one place that I worked at that I didn't get into it with the Indian woman. I worked with an Indian radiologist and like we got into it. We did. We ended up getting into it. Me and that Indian radiologist. She got on my nerves. She did. She got on my nerves. I had to call her out. She was even mean like the first time that I trained. Like she was super mean the first time that I trained and she said something. It was so many years ago and she's like, you mean to tell me you don't know yada yada yada? And I was just like, okay, whatever. So then she ended up being cool once she saw my skill set. And then like she started pissing me off because we would have biopsies. We have biopsies first thing in the morning, right? And so I would come to work on time. I would have to set up everything for the biopsy and I'd have to bring the patient in. The radiologist was already a half an hour late. And like these are breast biopsies. Like these women are terrified that they have breast cancer. They're terrified that they have breast cancer. I don't want I don't want my patient that's terrified of them having breast cancer to just be sitting in my room with their boobie out for 30 minutes cold, freaking out, panicking while I'm waiting for the radiologist. I was getting so frustrated. It was just such a bad reflection of like the care to give the patient. So once I noticed that she was just always going to come late and it was never going to change, I just ended up bringing the patient in a lot later. So out of nowhere, just this random day, the people in mammography was like, "Oh, Doctor So and So is on the phone. They want to speak to you." Oh, okay. So she's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know. I just want to let you know," because she started noticing that when she came in, the patient wasn't ready. Because the way I look at it, if you have to make the patient wait, I'm gonna make you wait. That's just how I was looking at it. I was like, if you don't care about your own time management, I'm not going to make the patient suffer because you're coming to work late. So I think she was trying to do it to like let me know to like get the patient ready. And she was late. She was going to be running late. She was going to get there the same time she always gets there. And so she said, I'm almost there. And I said, girl, you're going to be late this time like you're late every other time. And she was pissed. She was pissed. She was so pissed. After that time, after I told her that, every time I would call her to let her know that the patient was ready, she wouldn't even say, like, okay, thank you. She just hang up. I'd be like, patient so and so is ready. Click. She said, click. But I had to let her know. I'm like, girl, you're coming at the same time you're always coming at. Like, it's really not. You letting me know, girl, it wasn't gonna make a difference. Like, you just always late. Like, because my thing is this: if you gonna partake in something, and if you have a personality trait, the least you could do is take pride in what you're doing. Like, I'm sorry. I would come to work late. I used to have a really bad habit of coming to work late, but not that late. Like 30 minutes late. No, I'd be like 5 minutes late. Okay. I'd be like 5 minutes late. So if someone called me out on being late, I'd be like, you want to know what? I am fucking late. I'm late. I chronically am late. I have an issue. And guess what? I just quit being late. I just quit being late. I feel like if you can't take pride in the behavior that you're exhibiting, that's probably a sign that you should just quit exhibiting the behavior. Like, be late and be proud. Be late and be proud. There was one girl that I knew, she would come to work like 45 minutes late and she would just be like, yep, I'm just always late. Like, I mean, it is what it is, and these places let her be late, but she take full pride. She wouldn't sit here and get like defensive or pissed off or anything. She's like, yep, I'm late all the time. Oh, nice. See how deep you had to resort to get the money? You had to fake like you were pregnant. Texted him my period was late and I need you to show safety. He paid immediately. Nope, not pregnant. We'll ghost him now. See, you got the last bit of money out of him. That's wonderful. Because he definitely was clocking out from giving you money. You said, yes, the goop does like to delegate work as if they are your manager, child. Well, historically at my job, I'm pretty insubordinate. So I'm on my last strike with HR. I just give bullshit answers because honestly, I don't know what to say. Oh, yeah, when they bring you in for your work evaluation before they want to discipline you, and they ask these like nonsensical questions about like your performance, and we notice you've been exhibiting a certain type of behavior at the workplace, and so we just wanted to ask, like, where is that coming from? They do all that word salad. I can't stand human resources. Like, human resources, they are the kings of word salad. Like, I cannot stand it. It's like small talk. I can't stand it. Like, just say whatever it is that you gotta say. Just say you're terminated. So, we've decided, we've looked around, and, we've evaluated the company, and we just realized that we had to make some sacrifices. And so we've come to the conclusion that, the evaluation of looking at your role, we've decided that it's no longer needed. Like, bitch, just say I'm fired. All that you added, like, you made it 50 words long. All you had to do was just say you're terminated. My point is, when the incident happened, I was working alone, came back to work. Suddenly, everyone is in my face wanting to hear about how the brown girl got beat up. They're truly not interested or concerned, just entitled. Facts. Facts. But yeah, I got paid 4 months, healed up in like two. I'm glad you recovered, girl. That's horrible that you were assaulted at work. And this is what's crazy. You know that these people don't care because I bet you your coworkers weren't checking up on you while you weren't at work. I bet your coworkers weren't sending you a care package or sending you an edible arrangement or sending you a card or texting you or checking up on you while you were not at work. Like, if they wait for all of this curiosity after something happens to you and it's from when you come back to work, it's like, obviously, you bitches just wanna be nosy. Like, you guys just wanna have something to talk about, like, that be the thing, like, that be the thing with me, just wanting to have something to talk about, and I get it, okay, like, I get the workplace, like, gossip or whatever, especially amongst women, like, okay, whatever. But it's like, damn, you could at least just genuinely show that you care instead of trying to get the tea. Like I said, I'm big on honesty. Like, if you want to get in my business to gossip, like, just keep it real at that point. You sit on a throne of truth, queen, girl, yes. You said the beating around the bush is BS. I can't stand it. But when I got to work, they were all, "Wasn't it your shoulder?" Now, mind you, I was working alone and told no one anything. They wanted to get off on the story. That's terrible. I had emergency surgery in 2024 and none of my coworkers checked on me. Not even a good to see you back and healthy. See? But yet they want you to have all of this camaraderie with your coworkers. It's like, that's why I said all of that stuff is fake. That's why I don't partake in it. I don't want to go to your stupid team building meetings or outings. I don't want to go to any of those meetings because none of that stuff that we talk about is ever going to change. It's never going to get discussed. Like, mm-mm. I can't stand any of that. You are making me love doing house chores at the moment because I am listening to you while cleaning and enjoying the conversation. Yes, I'm glad you like it, Petra. I am. This year, I'm focusing on investing. Found a few really good free courses, advice on YouTube. Please share your recommendations. Start a free finance course on Rebel Finance, binge watching like Netflix. So I actually was looking at oh, thank you for the super chat, Deeks. I don't know if it's Deeks or DX, but appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Um, there's a few channels that I came across on YouTube, but honestly, all it did was just reinforce what it is that I already know. I know a decent amount from investing already because number one, my friend taught me how to trade stock options and I did do it for a little bit. And then my father invests in real estate. So I'm very, very much like well versed into like things that you can do in regards to it. Give me a second because I took screenshots. Okay, hold on. Black. My work has annual events every year. Some people asked if I was attending. I was like, why? So I can interact with people who don't know how to do their job while I'm off the clock. Oh my God. I love your honesty. Especially if it's like an annual, especially if it's an annual holiday party where they see you drinking and stuff like that. I don't drink, but I don't trust those events. I feel like they be having them annual events to try to keep it in their back pocket who they need to fire in the future. Like, "Oh, yeah, Luke, you remember how Luke was getting down, downing all of those whiskey shots, and he was doing the worm on the dance floor, and he was getting handsy with Miss Tina from accounting." Like, yeah, we gotta get rid of that guy. Like, they just be fishing, I feel like. They just be fishing. Okay, what was the other girl's what was her hold on. Because what I took a screenshot of wasn't in reference to the stock market. Because, see, me personally, I don't ever see myself investing in real estate. I really, really don't see myself investing in real estate. Um, at least not here in the US of A. I will say that at least in the US of A, I don't see myself really making an investment. I feel like I would worry too much about like repairs, squatters, people people junking up the place. I just can't do it. I think someone recommended her from the last I think it was from the last live stream. I think somebody I don't know if it was Kelly Ogie. I don't know if it was Kelly Ogie, but her content looks good. Took me 7 months to get rid of a non-paying tenant. Girl, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I can't and then also too, like, I wanna travel outside of the country. I don't want to, I will be traveling outside of the country. Y'all, I looked at how much a place is in Bangkok per month. Bitch, bitch, I could get a round trip flight. I could get a one-way trip flight to Bangkok right now to leave in a few months for like $400 and I could stay at an Airbnb for like 500 bucks a month in a nice ass condo in Bangkok. So I'm going to be booking that expeditiously. And then what I'm going to do is like I plan to stay there for like a few months and I'm going to go between like Bangkok, Phuket and then Pattaya. But I wanna move around and, like, I don't trust, like, even having, like, a property manager and stuff like that. I don't even trust that, and the thing about it is that my father could take care of all of that, but it's like, I also like to think, like, my father's gonna die one day, and my father already has, like, a ton of, like, real estate properties and stuff like that. Maybe I would, like, go half on something with him, and then I could just profit the 50%, and I just have him take care of everything else, but, I'm sorry, like, I just can't do it. I just don't trust people enough, and with the housing market getting worse and worse, and also my father, a lot of the tenants that he likes to get, he likes Section 8 tenants. He does. He likes Section 8 tenants. So if he does like a flip, if he does a flipped house, he likes to get Section 8 tenants primarily for that reason. And then he'll do new builds, but he'll do new builds for people that are taking out a mortgage. He really typically won't rent out. He typically won't just rent out to a person just out willy-nilly. He usually does it for people that are on Section 8. Girl, because squatters have more rights than any fucking body. Yeah, like when they said that they were making homelessness illegal, I was like I was like, "Okay, so you're just begging for squatters then. Like if you're not going to let people be homeless, you're begging for there to be squatters. Like there's really no other way around it." I was like, "Uh-uh. I'll get real estate in another place. I'll just go get real estate and figure out what to do outside the country and keep it moving." Because absolutely not. Absolutely not. Mm-mm. Like, okay, so when like Phuket, the Airbnbs with Phuket, they're so much more expensive than Bangkok, but I think it has a lot to do with like the beaches and stuff like that. Cause a lot of these places in Phuket, they're kind of pricey monthly. Mm. They are. They're a little pricey. But Bangkok was so cheap. You said they got more rights than kids. Honestly, yes. My family placed $100,000 damage in our home. I'm not paying for it. Yeah, it's crazy. What about the Philippines? I haven't looked into the Philippines. Honestly, I'm so dead set on Thailand. Like I said before, I think what I'll do is I'll spend like a month to 6 weeks and I'll just stay in each area for 2 weeks. So I'll do like Bangkok for 2 weeks, Phuket for 2 weeks, and then Pattaya for 2 weeks, and then see how I like it. Because Phuket has like all of the beaches. Phuket is like a lot more chill. Pattaya is like more touristy. They have like the strip of like all the nightlife and stuff like that. And then Bangkok is like more of like a city. It's like an Asian New York City. So they each have their own vibe, but I honestly think me personally, I think I would like Bangkok the most. Because I have a friend that well, she was in Phuket and she just got to Pattaya. And one of my friends is from the Philippines. She ended up traveling back there. She ended up traveling back there, I wanna say the middle of last year. Philippines is definitely on my list for sure. But Thailand is the next place I have to go. It is. It's the next place I gotta go. Okay, maybe if I do 2 weeks, let's see. Damn, it's even higher for it feel like it's even higher for 2 weeks in Phuket. It's because of the beaches. That's really why. It's because of the beaches, and, like, honestly, I don't know. When I think of Phuket, I think of Florida, and I'm just kinda like, "Ugh." Oh, and another reason why these places are like, well, no. I'm going through all of these places to see, like, why are they so pricey? But I really do think it's because of, like, the beaches. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely doing a solo trip. Tips on staying out of trouble while traveling. Um, always well, if you're a woman that's traveling alone, it's gonna be different, but I really feel like number 1, you should always say that, like, you're waiting for another person, like, if someone asks you something, I feel like you need to always say that you're waiting for another person or you're traveling with another person. Obviously, knowing the laws is important because what kills me is I can't believe the amount of people um that don't understand that like you can't use American laws in other countries and like they have their own unique laws. I still can't believe that people don't understand that. Um, but I'm traveling alone. So like and I don't drink. So me personally, I would never solo travel and drink. Like I wouldn't do it alone. I wouldn't look like I don't know where it is that I'm going. And I also wouldn't bring like anything valuable with me either. I wouldn't bring nothing crazy really valuable with me. Heard that South Africa, Cape Town is great too. Not too sure if it's a bit dangerous. No, I don't ever hear anything really dangerous with South Africa. I don't. They have good sewer systems. All the videos that I've watched, no one's really complained about the sewer system. Because I've watched a lot of videos in regards to Thailand, like a lot of videos in regards to Thailand, and I haven't. Now let me see about Pattaya. Let me see. I feel like Pattaya would be pretty expensive too. Yep, Pattaya is pretty expensive as well. It is, it's pricey. Super pricey. I mean, there are some places that are decently priced, but it's pretty stinking pricey. I'm not even gonna lie. The condos definitely are nice. Very, very nice. Ooh, one of this I'm adding this to saved. Yeah, I'm adding that because that's a nice place. I may retire flight attendant, and anytime you travel out of the country, you need to be put on the presence list by the embassy for safety. How do you solo travel? I only travel by myself in my area so far. Was too scared, but really want to travel far away. I've only solo traveled in the United States. I've been solo traveling alone since 2022, and I've yet to do it outside of the country. I mean, honestly, I feel like it's primarily common sense, right? Like, I really do feel like it's primarily common sense. Like, if you're a woman traveling alone, I probably wouldn't be doing anything late at night with like drinking involved. And like I said before, if someone asks me something, especially in regards like never say that you're alone. Like if someone asks me like, "Oh, are you traveling alone?" I never tell somebody that. I just tell them that I'm just my friends are on their way or husband is on their way. I always let them know that I'm traveling along somebody or traveling with somebody. I'm just simply waiting for that person. Um, I'm also trying to think. I really just feel like it's common sense, honestly. I really, really, really do think it's common sense. My family is from Mexico, and I've been told to avoid being out at night. My sister was held at knife point at a tourist area at night. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wouldn't. I don't do anything. I don't like nightlife. That's one thing. I don't like nightlife. I don't drink, I don't smoke. So there's really nothing in the nightlife that would really interest me anyway for me to want to do it. You're not scared traveling yourself. I'm scared. Like someone stalked me and breaks into my Airbnb at night and then can't sleep. I mean, girl, just lock your door. Just lock your door. Exactly. When I travel alone, I don't speak on it and I don't go out drinking, partying late. It's the best. Yeah, like a lot of the time, really you're supposed to be there to like gain an experience. And the way that I look at it is this. In most cases, no one's going to think that I'm so special that they're going to want to do something to me. Like people that want to do something to you, they're looking for a good victim because you also have to realize that criminals don't want to get caught either. Yeah, I have my decoy wedding ring. Definitely wear a wedding ring. But criminals don't want to get caught. So it's not like a criminal is just willy-nilly going up to a person to try to do this to. Like they're usually coming up to a person that makes a good victim, right? Like someone on their phone, someone looking down, someone that's got headphones in, someone that's walking out late at night, especially a woman. Like, you know what I mean? In most cases, criminals are pretty intentional about who they choose as a victim. I just go eat at restaurants and take pictures of landmarks. Exactly. Like, I think a lot of people think that when you solo travel, you have to do something extravagant. You don't have to do anything extravagant. Like Tracy Ellis Ross, she did that special when she was doing her solo travel. She didn't do anything extravagant. Like, she just went down. She traveled to 3 different places and like she ate out alone at a place. She did some shopping. She chilled out by the pool and went swimming. She brought some work with her. Like, also have to think, I mean, if you're at a place vacating, solo traveling for a while, after like a couple days, you're spending your time there as if you live there. Honestly, you're spending your time there as if you live there. So whatever excursion it is that you want to do, like just sign up for a couple excursions, whether it be like a tour, whether it's some like experience that you want to have. I mean, that's it. Mexico, I solo traveled, went out to party, and all I could say is I don't remember how I got back to the hotel and my things were rummaged through. Thank God I was on my cycle and my money was all on card. Yeah, like I mean, definitely don't get me wrong. Like I went to Jamaica with my friend and we ended up leaving the resort. I know you're not supposed to leave the resort, but we ended up leaving the resort with people that ended up working there because they were promoters for this nearby club. So we went to the club and like I ended up getting along really good with one of the workers of the resort. And so my friend didn't want to stay at the club anymore. So like I just ended up staying at the club with this dude and like we literally just danced the whole entire night. And then I ended up going back to his place and like we just kicked it and I was on my period. Nothing happened. But we ended up kicking it and then he sent me in a cab. He sent me in a cab back. And really the only reason why I felt comfortable and, like, we did the same thing with, like, another guy. So we had him, like, drive us around, like, parts of Jamaica and just, like, show us around. And then that friend, she went on a solo trip to Belize, and she ended up meeting these guys that, like, got a tour. I think another thing too is, like, the reason why I felt comfortable, like, doing it with the people that I did it with, it was because they work for the resort. Like, they have something to lose. It's because it wasn't no just willy-nilly person that, like, I met and they didn't have anything to lose. Like, those resorts, when you go to those international resorts, like, people don't realize, like, they're slaves, okay? Like, if you actually talk to the resort workers, they're slaves. They don't let them do anything. But yeah, I took a big risk. Honestly, I took a big risk. I would never do that again. I would never do that again. And honestly, another reason why I felt so comfortable, I was swole. I was swole. I was swoller than all those Jamaicans. Them Jamaican men were coming up to me and they were like, "Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm so scared of you." Like, them Jamaican men were intimidated. They were super intimidated because I was swole. I was in the middle of doing my bodybuilding thing. So that's another reason why I felt so comfortable because I had a lot of muscle. I had a lot of muscle on me at that time. So I definitely was intimidating. You said they extorted money from my uncle, saying they had my cousin and she wouldn't answer her phone. She returned home later from a party at night and she was fine. Uncle lost 2K USD though. Girl, I get text messages like that. And it's so obvious that it's a scam. Like they'll send you those text messages. Are you home right now? All I heard is Jamaican men, oh Lord. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There should have been several times during that Jamaica trip that we should have died or got essayed. Like, I'm sorry, but my muscles had me thinking I was invincible, bitch. My muscles had me thinking I was invincible, bitch. Why did we stay in the grill and we got a guy off of Instagram? My friend found a guy off of Instagram. He drove us to do all of the excursions that we wanted, and bitch, we drove 3 hours. We drove 3 hours to we went to St. Anne, 3 hours away from the grill with a fucking stranger. Like, and so I ended up doing We went to Rick's Cafe, Dunn's. Okay, so I did Dunn's. I did the little river thing or whatever. We went to Dunn's River. My friend didn't feel comfortable hiking up the river because her shoes, she didn't bring the right shoes. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll go on ahead and like do the thing. So she was with the guy that ended up driving us. She was with the guy. And so when I was done, she's like, this guy is a misogynist. She was like, he was talking about women and he was calling women bitches. And he was saying how like he didn't think that you were going to be able to hike the whole thing. And I was telling him that you would be able to hike the whole thing. And then you ended up hiking the whole thing. And then you shut the fuck up. So then where did we go? I think that was our last six. I can't remember if that was, no, that was one of our first excursions because it was going to be easier for us to like be wet already and then do the rest of the excursions to dry off. So then you guys know the little boat raft or whatever. Oh, this was crazy. This was crazy. We honestly, looking back, we should have gotten essayed at this point. Like honestly, if I'm being completely honest, we really should have gotten essayed in this circumstance. So I will never forget, the guy drives us to like this bar or whatever, and then like he ends up like getting us like some drinks. And so we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting and we're like, dude, what is taking so long for the fucking raft to get here? Like it's taking so long. I will never forget, it was this woman that was in the bar and she was giving me this look. She was giving me this look, and I could tell that she was giving me this look that was like, you better watch this motherfucker that you're with. You better watch him. So finally, I like really start pressing him, and I'm like, okay, like we need to get on the raft now. And like, if we don't get on the raft now, like we're gonna go. Like we need to go immediately. So then they end up getting the raft, right? We didn't think this motherfucker was going to get on the raft with us, the guy that was driving us. So me and my friend, we get on the raft, and then this motherfucker gets on the raft with us. So all of a sudden it's like, and then there's the guy driving the raft. So it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, like the guy for the raft with one of us and then the driver for the other one of us. So we're in Shantytown. Okay. We're in Shantytown. And so I see a couple and like they're on the raft too. This black couple, they're on the raft too. And they look just as annoyed as we do. Cause it's like, this is a shantytown raft. Like, why are we here? Like, this is ghetto as fuck. So already we're displeased. Me and my friend are displeased. So we get to the end of the raft and there's all of these men at the end. There's all of these men at the fucking end that are in the water looking like piranhas, and they have like the little ropes that are like hanging from the trees. Yeah, they're like Tarzaning in the water or whatever, and they're like, welcome to paradise, welcome to paradise. And I was like, turn this shit back around right fucking now. I started cussing them the fuck out. Started cussing them the fuck out. I said, turn this bitch around right the fuck now. I'm not fucking playing with you. Thank God they turned that shit around. They turned it back around immediately. And I told the guy that was driving us, I was like, take us the fuck back now. And I'm going to be on your ass this whole entire trip back. On this whole entire trip back. And then he made a joke. He made a joke. So I knew that we were finally back in the grill because I was like looking around and I was like, oh, okay, everything like looks familiar or whatever. So I was like, I know that we're, in the right area. So then I see him like pulling up to like the hotel or whatever. And he was like, haha, like I should just go past this hotel. And I said, haha, no, the fuck you shouldn't, because if you do, I'm literally going to punch you the fuck out. And then he ended up pulling up to the hotel. Like every single time he tried to like make a joke, like every single time he tried to like test the temperature, I was like, no. I was like, get us the fuck out. I was like, get us the fuck out. Yeah, that like honestly, I think back to that time several. I just flashed back to that and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like Lord have mercy, the level of protection that I have. Girl, I'm 20, turning 21 soon, and want to go to Puerto Rico as a solo trip. Just got cheated on. Any advice? One thing about Puerto Rico is that, like, I don't really feel like it's a whole lot to do in Puerto Rico. I feel like Puerto Rico is more of like a resort place. I mean, there are things that you can kind of like view and you can kind of see. But in my opinion, I feel like Puerto Rico, their resorts are good. You could just go to a resort. You can go to a resort that like offers all the things that you would like want to do and just go kick it. They have like relaxation resorts in Puerto Rico. They have like entertainment resorts in Puerto Rico. Like just find a cute resort to stay at. And honestly, it's disgusting because what the fuck do you mean I can't go outside at night and I have to be vigilant or else I'll be kidnapped and fucking trafficked? Men disgust me, girl. Yeah, there are a lot of wellness boutique hotels. Yeah, it depends on what vibe you're going for. Paris is actually great for solo travels. It's such a romantic city to romanticize yourself, but it's seriously better by yourself. Paris is on my list, but it's kind of low on my list. Jamaica was cool. I left off resort 2 with this Jamaican guy. He drove me around all my excursions for $20. He even let me drink and smoke. My mom and sister thought I was crazy. Yeah, that guy let us smoke and drink too. He like let us, he would have us like go to all these like little stores or whatever and like get us alcohol. And it's annoying. Like that is like that's one thing that just it drives me crazy. I'm like, oh, if men weren't in existence, we really could live our lives like fully. We really could live our lives a lot more stress free because it's. I want to go outside late at night. I heard I there are some Asian countries that I heard that for the most part you can go out at night. Belize is really good for solo travel too. As a Native American woman, the statistics of being murdered or missing or going missing are insane, and it really is. But yeah, I need a break from here. Honestly, I need a break from here. The first thing I do as a man is go out to the club shirtless, like in white chicks, whistle and all hollering. That's funny. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have Instagram. Listen, the crowd over at Instagram, they're evil. They're evil. I'm sorry. Like the meta crowd is just too much for me. Okay, their bots are working overtime to just be evil people, and they don't even be paying enough money. They don't even be paying enough money. The only Instagram I'll ever make is just for pole dancing. I really don't foresee myself in the future making like decentering men content and having it over on Instagram because the people, they're evil. They're so evil over there. And all of the common people that know me are on Instagram. They're on Meta, and I don't want them to know that I exist. Like somehow this guy that I went to high school with found my fucking secret poll account. He somehow found my secret poll account. I blocked his ass. I'm like, "Oh no, how the fuck did you find me?" Like I know they're not recommending you because none of the people that I'm friends with live in the same state. They usually do the recommendations and I don't have my contacts linked. So if they don't do it based off of your contacts, usually they recommend you people based off of your current friends list. Bitch, I don't have anyone in my friends list that lives in the same area as him. So that was weird. I blocked his ass immediately because I was like, no, this is my pole dancing journal. And I'm already very sensitive about it. I don't want someone that I know watching it. There was even someone, listen, I'm big on blocking people that know me. I'm very big on blocking people that know me. I don't want people that know me to watch my content. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I don't want people that know me to watch me. Like there was one girl, she said my real name and then said where I was from in the comments. Like, bitch, we're not out in public. We're not out in public when you realize that you recognize someone and you're like, so and so from so and so. I blocked her ass so fast. Like, bitch, why couldn't you just DM me? Why couldn't you just be a normal person and direct message me and say, "Hey, aren't you so and so? I think we went to school together." Not comment on my shit. She was blocked immediately. And TikTok is so messy. TikTok is so messy. They had it as like the number. They had it as like the top comment because I'll know what the top comments are based off of me just going back to the original post from my profile. They put the shit as the top comment because TikTok is known for being messy. I blocked her ass. Oh my gosh, not going out at night. Won't forget how I walked home. Only 5 minutes, 9 p.m. A car next to me suddenly in slow motion, and guys in the car staring at me started running home. This guy standing outside moved after this. Chow. Chow. Every time I see a woman walking, especially if I see a woman walking late at night, I always just say a little prayer and I'm like, to the universe, please make sure she can get home safe. Please make sure that her spirit guides, her spiritual protection is watching her and making sure that she gets home safely. Cause I genuinely hate seeing women walking. I hate seeing women walking alone. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. If it's in a walkable city, I get it. Like if it's in a walkable city, okay. But when it's not in a walkable city, I get so nervous. I do. I get so scared and nervous for them if I see them walking alone in a non-walkable city. I'm like, Lord, make sure they give it like it. Oh my god, like I just ordered a taser on Amazon, but I still haven't gotten a piece. What do you do? Just go get one? Wait, you didn't get the taser yet? I ordered mine from Amazon. I ordered mine from Amazon. It's like a light. It has a light, a flashlight on it, and a taser on it. It's got a flashlight and the taser. I've changed my number and have a VPN so nobody will find my IG. Smart. I also made sure to block everyone from my high school and college. I don't use my real name. I use my nickname in my private page. And bitch, this is what's even worse. I use my stage name for my poll account. I use a stage name. I don't use my real name. Cause yeah, if you ever take pole dancing classes and like you really get into pole dancing and you want to do like showcases and performances and stuff like that, you can always use a stage name. I use a stage name. I don't use my real name. And his ass still found me. I was like, what the? I was like, what the fox? And I don't have his number. We don't have each other's number. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, what the freak? But yeah, I use a fake name. Growing up, my mom will always pull over and offer women a ride if it was storming or nighttime. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's the best thing to do because, chow, I'm like, ooh, you should find a gun range where you can rent and try different caliber sizes and so know what will work best for you. Often the range will offer safety and training classes. Yeah, I have a firearm. I was considering deleting all my social media last night, but I have pictures and stuff like memories I'd rather not lose. Girl, just screenshot them and screen record them. That's what I did. All the everything that I liked, like picture wise and video wise, girl, I just saved everything to my phone. I saved everything to my phone and I deleted that thing. I was like, I'm not, mm-mm. Hey Queen, have you ever had an injury from bodybuilding? I haven't had any injury from bodybuilding. I mean, you get a like you'll have an ouchie occasionally. Like I always get an ouchie with this shoulder. No matter what. I always get an ouchie with this shoulder. This shoulder is just like this shoulder is like actually still recovering because I shoveled the snow and I was, doing this. So my anterior shoulder was kind of angry. And so I would just get like massage therapy, ice it, alternate between, hot and, ice, use some menthol or whatever, and then it would go away. But I've never had an actual like injury that needed treatment. Does your stomach get sore? From what? I change the letters in my name on social media. So if I'm going to use my real name, like my last name has the letter L in it. So I made it capital I instead and it looks like a L. That's smart. That way nobody knows. Are you sure rotator cuff didn't tear a bit? Mine has a slight tear. I don't think so. I don't think it's a tear. Um, I don't really think it's a tear, if I could be completely honest with you. It just healed too quickly. It did. It healed a little bit too quickly, and, it's always so the reason why I have issue with this shoulder is because I like to rely on my shoulder more than my lat. I don't know why, but I rely on my especially on my anterior shoulder, I rely on it a lot more than my back. And so I feel like it only happens when I have overuse of my anterior. I don't know what it is, but, like, my scapular retraction is just not good on this side. Oh, burpees probably make your stomach sore because, I mean, like, it is an ab workout. It is an ab workout. You're essentially doing, like you're doing a crunch on your stomach essentially every time you jump up, like, that's an ab workout. Yeah, I'm over it. The right honestly, if I could be completely honest, child, the right side of my body is just fudged up. Like, honestly, it's just fudged up. My knee doesn't have a whole lot of cartilage on the right side. It doesn't. It doesn't have a whole lot of cartilage on the right side. So I'm steady strengthening my hip. That way I can get that way I can get the pressure off of my knee. So I always make sure that I work out my hips. Um and I need to do more back exercises. Cause usually when you have issues with, like, certain muscles, it's because you have an imbalance. You have an imbalance in another muscle, and so you're compensating. You're compensating with another muscle, which makes you overuse another muscle, especially depending on what you do for work too. This is why, like, I try to be real mindful because it's easy for me to sit all day. It's easy for me to sit all day at work. Ba-da-da-da-da. I ran how many I had to have ran about a mile and a half today. I think I ran about a mile and a half today. I've been back running again. So that's been exciting. I've been back running again. And I'm losing weight. I'm losing weight. I'm getting a little slim. I'm getting a little slimmer. And I got my splits back. I got my splits back. I could do all 3 splits again, and I could do an over split on each side. I could do a split on each side. I can do a back walkover again. I can do a front walkover again. Like my mobility. Oh, and today I did a heel stretch on both sides today, bitch. I was at the squatting rack and I was like, I was like, wait, I haven't stretched. So, but I was like, yeah. This leg is the bad leg. This leg I can do. Hold on, let me. Yeah. I was over there on that squat rack. I said, wait a minute. Let me see if I can. Yeah. TikTok did that to me where it recommended a shared friends page, even though I don't have his number, but my bestie does. TikTok is very messy. And what's so crazy is I know this guy has a crush on me. I know this guy has a crush on me. That's another reason why I don't like people to follow me. I don't like people that I know to follow me. Cause yeah. Yeah, man. I'm not trying to further the parasocial relationship. I'm just not trying to do it. Mm-mm. But y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. Y'all know 2 hours is usually my mark. I work from home, so definitely sit all day. But I'm taking a women's weightlifting class that's twice a week. Yeah, just make sure you like get your hips exercise because being in a flexion extension, being in a flex position a lot of the day, it can make your like glutes in your back more like underactive. So make sure that you're giving your glutes and your hips some love training. But I'm gonna get off of here, guys, because y'all know 2 hours is my mark. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.